Hey guys, it's ahyanajanae. We're back with another reinstalled video. This time we're going to be using a curly wig I got off AliExpress, which I will leave in my description. First thing first, I usually just put some got to be like the white kind on my edges because that's like the one that really slicks my edges for me. You can also use the gel or any thing that you know will get your edges slick, because you want to make sure you have no hair in the way when you're installing a wig. First off, because it makes it very hard to get the glue to stay tacky, and also, baby, you don't want your edges to be ripped out. And yeah, so make sure you get something to brush those edges back or brush their hair back or whatever. Don't mind my braids. I had these same braids in my last wig install. Well, not the last video that y'all seen, but I had the same braids and I didn't decide to take them down, so whatever. Now I just take a regular wig cap. I typically like to use the HD wig caps I got onto those. I will leave them down in on my Amazon thingy storefront, so y'all can check those out. But this is just the regular wig caps. They all work kind of the same. The HD wig caps kind of just help you see your hair a little bit more and you know what you're looking at. But yeah, next I like to use the Black Can Ebony Spray. I actually been using the wrong kind. They kind of work kind of similar, so it hasn't been that big of like a difference or whatever. The kind I'm using is the ponytail one. I recommend you just get the lace one. But yeah, I just made sure to get the Black Ebony Spray. It don't matter. Then you blow dry it and make sure it gets fully dry. I like to glide my hands across it, as you can see in this video, to make sure I can tell if it's really dry. Sometimes that blow dryer may not really let you know for real, so you're gonna have to cut it off for a little bit and check. Then I like to lift up the wig cap a little bit, because sometimes that spray can get a little bit messy and it can get in areas that you really don't want it to be at. So go ahead and lift up that wig cap a little bit more, and then I begin to cut it. I'm using some like regular shears kind of scissors from the beauty spot store. Some people like to use like a razor. I like to use scissors because it's just kind of faster. Yeah, just try to get your, well, I don't know, try to do your best to get super close to the cap, well, to your skin, I guess, as possible without cutting yourself, and also without leaving too much of the cap left on your head, because if you do, then it can kind of just be like all in the way when you're trying to lay the glue down, and sometimes you can kind of see the cap through the lace, and you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. So do your best to make sure it is flat as possible, it is laid as possible, and as clean as possible, so your process can be easier, babe. Let me know if y'all like these reinstall videos, because I just like doing a reinstall. I don't know about y'all, but baby, I have never thrown out a wig that I couldn't like reinstall. So, well, that I could reinstall. Yeah, but anyways, I like to take my same color foundation. You can really use powder, you can use RK, you can really use any shade that matches you. I just like to use this foundation because it's the closest thing that I have that matches me. I know some people are very against using foundation. Me, on the other hand, I really don't care. I really haven't noticed a difference. I've used cream concealers, I use foundation, I use powder before. It's just not a really big difference. But make sure you also put that same shade on your wig, so the lace can be tinted, and as well as those knots, especially if you bleach your knots, you do want to tint them a little bit so that they're not super blonde. And then I just make sure to hot comb the hair to the back a little bit to keep it out the way, cleaning up that area, because you do have a little bit residue from the makeup and as well as the spray. So make sure you clean up a little bit. I like to throw the wig on just to see if my wig cap is placed far up enough, I guess. I don't know really how to say that, but if you notice that you can see your wig cap over, well, under the lace, then you do want to push it back a little bit, because you do not want your wig cap to be showing. It's just not gonna give, like, it's not gonna give. It's just not gonna give anything. I'm just gonna even say that. I'm just gonna say it's just not gonna give at all. So you do want to lift it up a little bit. I just take a little bit of alcohol and a Q-tip, and I just like push it on the wig cap a little bit to just lift it up. And you know, pull your finger, get you some scissors, and just chop it off really quickly. Well, not really quickly, but very closely to the skin, so you can make sure it is still giving, like, you know, baby, I'm basically bald. Like, you do want to give that. I mean, even though I'm not necessarily giving that, you do want to give that a little bit. You know, it don't have to be super like flat, but you do not want any pieces of the hair to be sticking up. Then I like to place the wig right back on my head and take a lighter shade of foundation or anything, and mark out where what my wig kind of stops, so I can know that I can't go over that certain area. After that, you do just want to take another Q-tip and then just wipe off everything else, just to make sure you're good, you're straight, we good. Today I'm using Boho Active, I believe. I usually use Erica J, but you know, I ran out of my Erica J, so I'm using Boho. It's still a good, decent glue. I do recommend Erica J because it does dry pretty fast, but you know, whatever. We're just gonna take Boho, put a few dots. I did have my band on that I like to put the extra glue on or whatever, but I really didn't use that as much. It was kind of a waste. But you know, you want to make sure you are spreading out the glue as much as possible, making sure that it is able to dry as clear as it can be and as fast as it can, because you don't want to be sitting there for a while and your glue is taking forever to dry. And make sure you are drying your glue 100% to clear before you apply another layer on there. I believe I used about 4 layers in this video, which is a typical good amount to make sure your wig lasts about a week or so. I typically like to use about 4 or 5 layers on me and my clients. So yeah, make sure you use a good amount of glue and spread it evenly. Make sure that there's no like big white clumps or anything. And then you want to go in with your blow dryer. You want to go in with your blow dryer and make sure everything is just clear and, you know, kind of dry and good. If you ever notice that your glue is not as even as you want it to be, you can just go right in and apply a little bit more glue and make sure everything is getting dry as possible. And then I take my wig and I do my best to place it. Placement is very, very important, because if you have the wig too far up, then it's going to look crazy. If you have the wig too far back, then it's going to look crazy. So make sure you have a good amount of, you're good on placement, and make sure you're pushing the lace within the glue. Now, if you know that you probably haven't placed this that well, it's okay. You can always just lift it up. Just make sure you're doing it kind of slowly and you can fix it. Then I like to fix my sideburns or whatever areas that seem like they need more glue. And this time it was my sideburns. So I just take a little bit more glue and I make sure to spread it out evenly, because baby, we don't want to mess up. Like, we need this to be giving scalp. We need to make sure y'all know that this actually just grew out of my freaking head. Like, I was born with this hair. This was made into me. So you want to make sure everything is glued down properly, blow dry it down, and make sure it gets a little tacky, and of course clear, and just push it down into your glue, and so it can give skin, baby. You want it to give skin. And then I like to take my lace band, and that's just gonna apply a little bit more tension and just push the lace within the glue a little bit is more. I do recommend getting an elastic band, because you know they work wonders. They get it melted, they get it straight, they get it good. So you want to do that. Then I'm gonna take my parting comb and I'm just gonna do a middle part today. Something simple. I think last time I did a middle part, but today we're gonna do a middle part because I don't know. I really don't know what made me choose a middle part, because I'm a side part girl, but we did a middle part today. And you want to make sure that you are applying your wax stick on that one. I just got that one from the beauty supply store and it was like $5, I think. I don't know if it's more expensive now. I don't know, but I got that one and it works well. You want to go through and just apply your wax stick and then apply your hot comb. Be careful to not burn yourself, baby, because I have a big issue with burning myself. I always burn myself, and I'm trying to get better with that. But yeah, I just make sure everything is flat because you want it to be flat, like flat, like you don't want it to be big and humpy dumpy. You don't want it to give that because that's not natural, that's not cute, that's not it. I like to also go under like where my ears are and everything. I don't even know if that was a good description, but I like to go over there and make sure everything is flat as well. And then I go back and I lift up, and of course I was having more issues with my sirens, so I just apply more glue and glue those down. Then I remove the extra lace that is left that I do not want this time. And then I make sure everything is clean and crisp. Make sure everything, all the little bitty pieces of lace is gone, because baby, we don't want those to be trying to get melted. We don't want you anymore. Make sure those ear tabs is still giving. I know like the first time you do it is maybe a completely different install than the second time you do it, so make sure everything is flat and giving, clean, crisp, and everything. Then I take my elastic bag, then I go through in sections and go back with my wax stick and hot comb everything again, because of course, like I said in the first place, we want it to be given flat, we want it to be given clean, we want it to be given it is growing on my scalp. Now this may not always give clean and growing on my scalp, but it's okay. You want to take some holding spray. I just like to use that spray because I don't know, it's a spritz and it's the yellow, it's the one that's like has like a yellow thingy on there, I think. And I just go in with my hot comb and I lay that flat as well. It just gets more flatter and more smoother to me, so that's why I like using it. Then I like to take my alcohol and another Q-tip and clean up all of that extra makeup that I put on in the first place, because baby, we don't want that no more. I cut off whatever is left from the sideburns and anything, any just additional pieces of lace, because it's never enough, y'all. You want to go in there and keep fixing it, baby. If you want it more flat, keep it more flat. Like, do what you gotta do. Then I take that Ebin Black Candle Spray again. I apply it to my lace using my fingers because it's just a more cleaner look, and I blow dry it. You're just gonna make sure that gets dry before you apply your lace band, because once you apply the lace band, there's a very high chance that your lace will try to stick to the lace band and it just gets all ugly and dusty. You don't want that. Make sure you go in with some makeup to make sure it matches you a little bit more closer. Then I go in with another the same spritz that I just used earlier and apply that with my finger as well. I go in with some makeup and define my part a little bit. I use a same shade. Other people like to use a lighter shade sometimes. Do whatever suits you. I just like to use the same shade. I don't know. I make sure everything is blow dried again before I apply my elastic band. And then we apply the elastic band. Yay. Once we apply the elastic band, we're gonna make sure it's tight and straight and good, and make sure our hair is being laid. Then I go in with some mousse and some water that is mixed with some conditioner or leave-in conditioner, and I just make sure my hair gets like wet and like defined, because I like that defined curl look. It's super cute, and even though I like me a good poofy look, you want your hair to get wet first so then it can poof up and the curls can still be defined. So yeah, get you a mousse. This is just this, the Ebin spray one. Not Ebin spray, it's called Ebin, the Ebin one, and you can use Nairobi, you can use Lotta Body. I've used all of those and they all work the same, they all work good to me, so do whatever suits you. Then I go in with my white girl brush or my detangler brush or whatever you want to call it, and make sure them curls are getting defined, you know, comb through it as much as possible, and you know, get it cute. Elf, if you're watching this, sponsor me. Anyways, this is the final look. I feel like it's giving super cute. I didn't do no edges today. Tell me if y'all like it. I will leave this wig linked in my description. Make sure you check out my link tree. Follow me on all my socials. And I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. And bye.